Amalia Faraj Johnson. Longtime bachelor Governor Charlie Crist pops the question. And the Florida Supreme Court strikes down a deal the governor made with the Seminole Indian tribe. All that and more on Power Play with our guests, Mike Vasalinda, Bureau Chief of Capitol News Service, and Joe Follick, Capitol reporter with the New York Times regional papers. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. Let's get started. So Governor Charlie Crist pops the question over the 4th of July weekend. What does that mean?
You know, I mean, if you're a cynic, you think he's running for vice president, and this is, you know, one step forward. But, you know, if you've ever seen the two of them together, they look really genuine to me. I think that it may be the real thing. Who knows? Any
political relevance? I mean, was there some thought put into this for that reason?
Well, I think I'm hesitant to read too much into anybody's personal relationship, but any personal relationship has practical applications as well. I think that within Florida, let's face it, the state has already elected a guy who has never had a mortgage, never had any kids, and was never married. So I'm not sure how much it matters to Florida voters if Charlie's married or not.
On the national, he gets all three if he does marry her.
Well, I'm not sure about the mortgage part. He'll get 2 out of the 3. I think if it goes national, what this would do, if Charlie does go national, what it does is it takes what might be endless speculation about his past and makes it maybe a one-day story, maybe a brief now. So, you know, did he do it for political purposes? I don't think so. Does it help, though, politically? I think it does.
You know, and my point is, I saw them together opening day of the session at the governor's mansion. He looked like he genuinely cared for her.
He truly does. Looks very happy.
Yeah, it looked very genuine to me.
Moving along, the Florida Supreme Court struck down an agreement that the governor had made a compact with the Seminole Indian tribe to approve gaming at a couple of their locations. What does it mean?
Well, it means the games keep going right now until either the legislature or the federal government jumps in. I think what the court said was you did this without legislative approval, and it's now up to the legislature to decide if they're going to jump into it. The games continue under federal law right now, authorized by the U.S. Secretary of the Interior. There is some speculation he may jump in and stop them, but for now, it continues until I think the next move is in the hands of the legislature.
Well, Joe, Justice Cantero, obviously the first justice to resign and leave a vacancy on the Florida Supreme Court, wrote the opinion. So,
well, I think, you know, this was a 7-0 opinion, though. Whether there was any political backing behind this, it doesn't seem if there was, if it was a 7-0 decision. I think what was more telling about it was Justice Lewis's concurring opinion, which read more like a dissent. But he mentions that this has been going on for 16 years. Lawmakers haven't done anything about it. It's been booted around and kicked around. How fitting is it that we're still sitting there 16 years after we're talking about doing this and no resolution yet?
Well, will our new legislature be able to address this issue?
Well, you know, given the revenue picture, they may want to look real strongly at what they want to do and decide if they do want to extend gambling, at least the blackjack and baccarat and high-stakes poker, I guess, to those casinos. The slots are good no matter what because of what's happened in South Florida. So it really is a matter of semantics. We've got gambling all over Florida, 30 boats to nowhere.
Signs going up in South Florida advertising blackjack. What happens?
Well, I think it's going to go on for now. I mean, this decision raises the specter that the Seminole tribe will get what they wanted, which was expanded gambling, and the state of Florida will not get what they wanted, which was more revenue out of the deal. We'll see. I mean, I think a new legislature next year, Marco Rubio leaving, a lot of that strident anti-gambling rhetoric is going to be going away with term limits. So I think Charlie might wait till next year and give another.
Gentlemen, moving along, Power Play of the Week.
Well, we were grilling the governor both about his marriage and the gambling issue when he first came back to town earlier in the week, and he sort of as an aside said when we were talking about the gambling opinion, he goes, "I'm really looking forward to naming those 4 judges," sort of sending a message that you know, he's going to look real carefully about who he appoints and what they're going to think.
Joe?
I think for now it is Justice Cantero and Justice Lewis. I thought their decisions were, whether you agree with them or not, and there was some torturous logic in there, but they were exceedingly well written and they were very thoughtful about their historic place. They said it was very issue specific, and I don't think it tied the hands of future governors or legislatures as much as it might seem.
Mike, Joe, thank you so much for joining us today. To all our viewers, we'll see you next week on Power Play. For all your political news, please visit SafetyReview.com.